Yeah.
All right. What's
Yo,
up,
good
Trey?
good to be here, man. Yo.
I
How's your
see.
week, man?
Not bad. I see you wearing the hats of two villainous organizations. Uh,
Yeah, how do we know? What it's great minds, I guess.
you know what I mean? We were on the same page on this one.
Yeah,
How is it in LA? Is it cold? Because it's cold as hell here.
yeah, it is cold. Hold on, I gotta get my charger. But it is cold.
All right. Well,
Cold.
Trey gets his. Yeah. Oh man, it is. Yeah, it is. Like freezing. I'm having to wear hats indoors. I'm wearing socks indoors. I hate doing that. You find it?
Yeah, it's been pretty nice.
You like it? You like the cold? Well, you're from Detroit. I mean,
During the day it's nice. And then
mm,
I'm not going outside. People are hanging out at nighttime, and I'm like, no, that's done. The time for hanging out at night is like, I mean, it's so cold. Why would you do it? And I mean, normal flu season, I wouldn't go out during this time of the year.
right. I feel you. I feel you. I mean, but you'll still go out and do shows. I'm assuming.
Maybe, yeah. Just it depends on what shows and where they're at. Maybe.
Hmm.
I think I'm winding down in general. I think I'll do like I've got a weekend with Chris, I think,
Hmm.
and that's fine. Early December, but that's definitely my last show.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have a bunch of dates on the books for like local shows here in December, but I don't have faith that it'll be up and running at that point anymore.
We'll see. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like it will.
No, it doesn't feel like it will. Like today I had a show scheduled for at night, and I was like, well, this one because I had a show earlier this week that was really good, and so I was like, this one I'll cancel because like I'm suspect in how safe it's gonna be, and then on top of that, it has to be outside. So both those
Yeah,
things combined, I was like, well, there's no need to take that risk if it's gonna be a cold show where like I'm very up in the air about the safety.
yeah, yeah. I don't want to be. I'm not gonna put myself out there and be that cold for no reason and
Yeah.
expose myself to, because again, it's something that I would be cautious of before COVID. It's just
Right.
like I don't want to get sick at all, really. And it's the colder it gets, the easier. I don't know why that is, but it's like the easier
Well,
it is to
well,
get
the
sick.
it is it's because when it's colder outside, people tend to stay inside, and so that helps the incubation of viruses. So
Mm.
San Francisco. I don't know about what it's like in LA. San Francisco had to just open indoor dining for about 2 days and then shut it down. It was got done like that.
What happened?
Well, so while the rest of the world was skyrocketing, the rest of the U.S. was skyrocketing, Bay Area was level. It was really low, right? And then in the last 2 weeks, we've shot up. So we went from being like, okay, if we keep it this low and stable, we can just reopen everything slowly, to now it's almost at its peak, where
Mm.
it's like we've almost caught up to the daily cases it was at its highest in a span of like a week. And this is pre-Biden celebrations. So I mean,
Yeah.
I can't. The Biden celebrations, I truly are going to cause a massive, massive spike. There's no way they're not.
Well, it's okay because I think they deserved it. You know what I mean? They got a they got a fascist out of the White House. So go ahead and spread the virus. You know what I mean? You deserve this one. If it's one thing viruses don't care about, it's Biden victory parties and
Yeah,
Black Lives Matter protests. For some
yeah,
reason, the virus doesn't know about either of those things. It's like they're all over Trump parties. Like five
yeah,
people caught a corona just from Trump's campaign, the election night party he had. Five people
right.
caught it.
Well, so it's like the hypocrisy on both ends is pretty insane, right? Where it's like California, we had a huge spike in July. And people
Yeah.
just refuse to be like, well, the Black Lives Matters rally probably had something to do with it, which they definitely 100% did. There's no way they didn't.
I mean, if it had no effect, then there's no reason to shut anything down ever again. If those rallies
Right.
had no effect, then what are we doing any of it? What's happened?
Right. But clearly they did. Clearly they did. And then, it's just easier to make fun of the Trump side because the Trump side, like, it's the same thing as Democrats versus Republicans, right? So it's like the Black Lives Matters rally, the Biden rallies, they all pretend to at least wear the mask, right? And they all like some will wear the mask, even though at that, like, everyone's yelling, you're close together, and some people don't wear it correctly. There's no way a mask is helpful in that situation. They'll do the
Yeah.
optics. They're the Democrats. They'll do the optics. The Republicans don't even, or like the Trump people don't even care about the optics. It's so easy to make fun of them because they refuse to even wear masks.
It's so stupid, yeah. And then they were so late to the game. Like they're like even pretending. It's like you guys could have been pretending you cared in May, and that
Yeah,
would have
right.
been so much better.
It's just I don't know. I am, I guess, scared. I guess in this country, just because
Yeah,
we clearly need leadership on this virus issue. Like, it's clear 100%. We need
yeah,
some kind of leadership, and our leader right now is throwing just a tantrum. And it's like, dude,
yeah.
be the president. Who gives like? It would go a long way if you actually went around and tried to figure this out, or tried to, like, give small businesses money, or tell people to stay in, do a mask mandate while being like, we'll give you unemployment, we'll help you through this. Like, that will go so much further than these lawsuits where it's like, this is not what this country needs right now. You're the president. You're not a
But
king.
he's
Relax.
going out, and he's going out in style. And I feel like that's why that's why I'm wearing. I don't know if you noticed, but like I'm wearing
Yeah.
this hat
Yeah.
because now's a good time to position ourselves for the race in 2024. So Trump, like this is ground zero pretty much for Trump's run at it, because he's going like right now. This is just kind of like a guy, swinging, but he's already down. But like
Right.
it's over. But like Trump is going out swinging, but definitely he's coming back. And I feel like it's a good position to be in, And I like I get to the party late. You know what I mean? I don't
Right.
have 4 years to really get pro Trump, and now it's like, but I really didn't. I didn't see how necessary he was, and I think these 4 years are going to be a good reminder of what life was before Trump. We think we miss it, but in 4 years, baby, Trump 2024, we could be begging Trump to come back. I feel like it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like what he's gonna do right now
Okay.
is, what he's gonna do right now is for sure. I mean, if I were him and I wanted to make a run for 2024, I would do
Yeah.
nothing about this virus, because by the time it peaks, Biden will get into office,
Yeah.
and then you can just start blaming Biden for everything.
Yeah.
It's a very simple plan. It's a very simple play that he can make that I think he's going to do. But like I said, we've talked about this before. I don't think he's thinking that far ahead. He's just going to sort of
No.
he's going to luck into his own narrative.
Well, he's already positioning himself to start Trump TV. He's taking shots at
Right.
Fox. And so that's the 4-year plan. If you were Donald Trump and you wanted to even consider a run in 2024, what would you do? Well, you set the groundwork with Trump TV, and he's already, taking shots at Fox. Like yesterday was just a long ass
Right.
fucking almost like his what do you call it when you write like a manifesto? Like this nigga is in real time. We're watching like a manifesto, like watch the
Right.
second he gets out, the second he actually, well, he'll never accept the results, but he'll leave.
Never accept the result. Yeah. Well, the reality is he'll have to leave. I don't think he just has. Don't think he has the
Oh,
support.
now you believe me. Now you
Yeah.
so I won the bet. We had a
Well,
bet.
no. The bet was whether or not he'll call for violence. That's still on the table.
No, the bet was that he bunker up and fucking is like, I'm not going anywhere. Fucking
Well, time will
stand
tell.
back.
I mean, I think he's probably going to end up getting out, dragged, kicking and screaming. I don't think he's going to leave the White House.
No, he's gonna
He's
leave,
not
but
going to walk out the door.
he is.
They're
But
going to carry him out the door.
No, he's gonna. What he's again. We're selling Trump too short. The man did make it to president. He's an idiot. Don't get me wrong, but he knows that's not the best optics. The best optics is for him to what he's doing right now. He's just gonna keep doing it. He's gonna walk out that door while tweeting, "This is illegitimate." You know what I mean?
That's probably exactly what's gonna happen.
He's gonna keep talking about, and you know what? It's gonna go on for the next for Trump TV. That's why we got to get in a good position. It's on this podcast. We can get on Trump TV.
You got Trump TV. Is he gonna start his own, or is he just gonna like?
I don't know.
Take that OAN network and just run with it.
He could do that. Maybe he starts his own network and then like incorporates those people.
I mean, he should. The dude is a media mastermind. There's no reason for him not to.
He should, man, and he will. I think, and that will position him even in a better position to run again. I think because Biden is just going to be. I mean, listen, Biden is not going to like tweet crazily, but he's not going to actually fix anything.
No, Biden. I mean, I don't see how Biden lasts. I don't see how Biden gets a second term. Biden's going to be a one-term president. I think Biden knows he's going to be a one-term president. I don't think Biden has any sort of delusions of being a two-term president.
No. And he knows it. Yeah, he knows it. And Kamala, They all know it. They're all positioning Kamala right now for president. She has said it herself. People have referred to her as the president. They call it somebody called it a Kamala administration. They're not even hiding the agenda. But that's why I feel like a Trump 2020 run or any kind of populist run in 2020, they're going to come back with a vengeance. And you think the story is over? If you thought, it's like, come on. No, the story's not over. Biden won, but he won by a couple thousand votes in 4 states. That's not the landslide that we were supposed to get.
No, I mean, but the landslide, anyone who thought the landslide was coming was straight delusional.
Yeah.
Why would a landslide come? Biden is not a historically popular candidate by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see, man. We'll see what these next 4 years, because maybe Biden pulls some FDR shit. I will say an interesting trait about Biden is when you factor in that him and Obama's relationship was cool, but it wasn't like perfect. That opens the door for Biden to do some shit that maybe Obama wouldn't have even been able to pull off.
Well, I will say this: Biden sort of does have to listen to the progressive wing of the party more so than Obama did, right? Obama, there was no AOC, there's no crew, there's no like loud leftist voices Obama had to deal with. Biden has like the left will, if he appoints the wrong people for his cabinets, the left will make some noise.
And you can see it's already like the people he've appointed so far, AOC is fine with it. Mm-hmm. Everyone is, it seems like it's fine, but he's hesitant to, there's a push for Bernie to be his labor secretary. And I don't have any illusions. I'm not fucking retarded. Like, you can fool me once, shame on me. What did George Bush say? Fool me, you can't get fooled again.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
Can't get fooled again.
You can't fool the fooler.
Yeah. But so you can't fool me again. That's the thing. Is like, I'm not gonna get fooled a second time. You know what I mean? So like, I see it coming, Trump 2024. But I will give Biden that opening of, I think, like you said, Obama didn't have the pressure, and he knows that if he were to ball out, and be because I know in his heart he wants to just go full center right, and he wants to appoint like the John McCain's or like the fucking Kasich. You know what I mean? His whole cabinet would be Kasich, just a clone of Kasich if he could, and that's where he wants to go. But AOC and reality, not just AOC, but reality is keeping him grounded, because guess who lost every election this election? Centrist Democrats. They lost.
I was gonna say the only Democrats that won were the ones that were for universal health care.
Oh, really? You don't say.
Yeah. So it's like that level of pressure. Like, he's not in. Like the Democrats are like, Pelosi's not retarded. There's no way she doesn't see that. Yeah. She might ignore it, but she doesn't.
But they know.
She doesn't see it. They know. The Pelosi, Schumer, either they got to get with the time or they're going to be gone.
They it's like they're dinosaurs and it's coming for them. You know what I mean? Like
The
it's
meteor's
definitely
coming.
coming. It's coming. It's already hit a lot of their comrades,
Mm-hmm.
and AOC is about to be 34 in no time. So, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that she should run for president, but I think she could be what the left really needs is that young dynamic person to push. She's not going to win, I don't think, but
No.
she will give and she might win because Bernie a lot of his if you look at the people who hated Bernie, what did they say? Well, besides the socialism part, because you're not going to win that.
He's old.
He's old. He's
Mm-hmm.
curmudgeony. Even the people in the Senate, you know, they said, he didn't really tell me happy birthday, you know, on my like he's just an old curmudgeony dude. But AOC is dynamic and young and fresh.
Mm-hmm.
She's got that Obama energy, and so she might not be deserving of the position. But let's be honest. I'll tell you what. I'll vote for AOC as president because Kamala made it to the White House off of nothing. So what are we protecting at this point?
Yeah, Kamala made it off nothing, and I would much rather have, if I had to choose between AOC and Kamala, AOC all day.
And that's why she could win. That's why she could win. But I think Trump, though, going back to him not recognizing this election, you can look at it as a frightening kind of, you know, dangerous place to be, or you can acknowledge that, well, that place is exactly what Democrats were for the last 4 years with Russiagate. Went nowhere. It was about nothing. It was just a way to delegitimize the Trump presidency. He did win, and he became president. And for 4 years, the Mueller report, this nigga spent 2 years and was like, I didn't really find nothing. I can't say that I didn't find anything.
Right.
He's like, well, drop all this lawyer speak and tell us what it is. But you know what? That was our answer. The fact that Trump isn't in jail is our answer. It was some shady shit, but he wasn't a fucking puppet for Putin.
No, I mean, it's clear, dude. If Trump was a big enough Russian puppet, there's no way he wouldn't have stole this election. The fact that the Democrats were able to win, it goes a long way in proving that, like, okay, there's only so much Trump is able to do. Because at the end of the day, it's like the reality is that Trump is most likely in debt, in a lot of debt to people that Putin knows.
Yeah.
And there's no way you would want that guy to be running stuff for you. You know he's in $321 million of debt. That's supposedly what he's in. So you're not gonna put important things in front of him and be like, do this, because you know he's a gambler.
Yeah, but that's very different. A gambler is just very different from a fucking Manchurian candidate. You know what I mean? Some fucking kind of like what they were calling, I mean, literally treason. It's very clearly treason what they were accusing him of, and then he just was not guilty of it. So Trump to throw it back into their faces and be like, well, this win is illegitimate. It's like, no, nigga, you lost. But I kind of get why he's probably decided already to never acknowledge it because Hillary never acknowledged his win. And I think they did that to Obama too. Fox never really acknowledged Obama's win. So we just now live in this reality where
No, I would say Fox definitely acknowledged Obama's win.
They acknowledged it just like they acknowledged Biden. But what I mean is people on Fox. So the Sean Hannity, it wasn't Sean Hannity, it was Bill O'Reilly for Obama. Bill O'Reilly was talking about, you know, was Obama really born here? Like the birth certificate. You know
okay. Yeah,
So that was a much sneakier and milder way. Now we've arrived to they're outright saying this presidency is illegitimate. But before they were kind of whispering it like, oh, is this nigga, we should look at his birth certificate. Like they were like kind of like sneak this in a little bit. But now they're outright saying he worked for Russia or Trump now is like, nope, they didn't win actually. If you just count the votes that voted for me. That's what Trump's case is.
Yeah, Trump. Yeah, this is what Trump is saying. We can't count. What are we doing counting all the Biden votes? Trump really just Trump miscalculated so much on this too. Like he thought he would have the military support. He lost the military to Biden. Like it's
Yeah.
like, you know how crazy you have to insult the military to lose them to a Democrat? They voted 60-40 for Biden. That's
a lot.
insane.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And then he still doesn't get it, because I think even behind closed doors, it'd be
No.
yeah.
Reports are that he's shocked that he lost the military vote.
This guy, I mean, I think hopefully he learns his lesson and gets it together for his next run, because I do believe
billionaires are known for learning their lesson in their 70s. It's the one thing billionaires do is that they change.
It is one thing. Listen, man, that's a tale as old as time. A billionaire changing his ways at 80.
Yeah, 80.
Like an 80. Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping that after this election, we as a nation are like, all right, no more super old people. Fuck this.
Well, we'll see. AOC, man. I think it's up to the Pelosi and it's up to Chuck Schumer, because there's still a lot of old people left in power. And so the sad reality is, once we get them out of the way, that's when we can have a whole nother generation. But then you know, you have to realize that just because somebody is young doesn't mean that they actually have your best interest at heart. That's a whole nother,
That's a whole other thing. But it would be a nice change of pace from just this old people fest that we have going on now. It's just the insanity. It's too much. And I am curious to see how AOC does over the next 4 years, because she's probably, as far as a young politician goes, she's probably one of the more popular ones. She knows how to reach the young people. I don't know if you saw a week before the election, she was on a Twitch stream. She set up a Twitch stream to play this. I don't know if you've heard of Among Us, but it's a very popular game right now, especially on TikTok.
Yeah.
And she played it, and it was genuinely very entertaining.
Really?
Yeah, she did a good. I was sitting there, and I'm like, damn, I'm watching this congressman go around. She's killing people. There's also that, because that's part of the game, is you have to kill people.
That's great.
so you're watching her kill people. She's playing with Ilhan Omar, and so you're watching, Ilhan. So you're watching Ilhan and AOC. At one point, they go on a killing spree, and they're just killing people left and right.
That's hilarious.
And it's just,
that's great.
It's so much fun to watch. It's like, okay, that's how you reach the new generation of voters. I mean, there's no way she didn't create new potential voters out of that, for if she were to run.
Yeah, and but also, it's just a testament to like, only a young person can use this technology in this way, and then she also is talented enough to be able to be likable, because some people can use the technology and then it's just they're just not entertaining. So she's gifted, and that's why I believe that she'll be the first female Democratic president. Like, if they allow that to happen, because maybe
if Joe doesn't die, if Joe doesn't die in the next couple days,
if Joe can hang in there for 4 years, if he can just hold on for dear life, and he's got all the best health care. Listen, these people are Nancy Pelosi. They're all still kicking. They're all still alive. So what makes us think any of them are gonna drop dead anytime soon?
Yeah, how old is Nancy? Is she in her 80s?
They're all fucking.
All right, here, I'm gonna look up Nancy Pelosi. Guess her age.
Okay, I'd say she's got to be, maybe close to 173. 172 years young.
I mean, you're close. How old do you think she is, though, really? I'm curious.
Okay. I don't know, man. She looks decrepit, like 80, 89.
Oh, damn. She's 80, but it goes a lot to show you how old she looks. Yeah. It's crazy that she's an 80-year-old, and she ran for House of Representatives unopposed. Unopposed. I mean, I get it. If you're like the AOC level, you're like, well, we can't run because the establishment's going to shut us out regardless. But unopposed, None of these like 60-year-old senators or House of Rep members were like, well, let me have a shot. She
I
ran
think that
unopposed.
speaks a lot to how the game is played. I mean, AOC is a part of a newer generation that has decided to simply not play politics as usual. But everyone else, including Obama, he excelled at the game. Not only did he play it, he excelled at it. But people like AOC have chosen to not play it. And
Right.
and I think that's what makes them dangerous, but that's what gives her an honest shot at winning because uh, these people, these old people, these 60-year-olds who have been in Congress, they could easily they would throw their life's work away because they would be met with I mean they would get destroyed. You know, the retaliation.
Right.
That's a part of like that's the way it works. Is you step out of line, you lose all of this. And as long as you stay, as long as you play ball, this is all yours. And
That's a
that's
good
what's
point.
crazy.
That's a good point. We were talking earlier, like maybe Pelosi will understand that something's up in the party, the fact that they lost all these seats. And this is literally, I'm on Google. This is a CNN headline from 2 hours ago. Pelosi defiant despite House Democratic losses. Quote, I take credit for winning a majority. So sure, she'll turn a blind eye to what's going on.
What does that even mean? I take credit for winning a majority. What?
So she won't say that the losses are on her and that these centrist Democrats are the ones that got kicked out. What she's saying is we're still winning because we have a majority, and that's all that matters. So like we said earlier,
She won't even recognize. Yeah, she won't even recognize the loss. But that's Republican shit. That's where the Democrats are just as bad, if not worse, than Republicans. Because at least Republicans are open about how corrupt they are. Nancy Pelosi is pretending to be for the people. Meanwhile, she withheld money, knowing that we needed those stimulus checks. And Nancy chose to not do that because she didn't want to help Trump possibly get reelected.
And it's like, and you're very right about that. The more I think about that, is all she had to do was say, "Let's do it," and the Republicans were going to stall that bill no matter what, and it would just make them look terrible.
She could have been on the easy. It could have been. It's not hard to have been for Nancy's reality to be actual reality. All she would have had to do is push a little bit, knowing how Congress works, knowing that Mitch McConnell is going to stop it. But she could have got that moral win. Instead, she stood on her ground, which made it hard to defend her because, well, it doesn't matter what Mitch McConnell will do or won't do because she kept it she wouldn't even let it go to a vote. It's like, what's happening? Like, you can't even, same thing with Trump with masks. It's such an easy side to be on the right of. You know what I mean? It's like be on the right side of. It's an easy issue. And you botched it, but that shows you she's been in Congress 30 plus years, runs unopposed. People know that if they even dare challenge her, well, I don't think that's even the case anymore. It's kind of like when you if you keep a dog on a leash for so many years, that dog he's gonna think it's on a leash, and then when you let that dog off the leash, he's not gonna leave the lawn. You know, it's that kind of mentality Democrats have, where they're afraid of Nancy Pelosi ending their careers, but they don't understand that it's all on YouTube now. It's all on Instagram. She doesn't actually have any control. Same way these like music is all streaming to you now, and you know, like comedians, you can kind of take your own career in your own hands by speaking directly to the people. If you have a phone, you can kind of control your destiny, especially if you're already in Congress, you dumbass.
Right.
Like you're already famous. But they don't know. They're just so old dogs. They don't know, oh, this is different. It doesn't even work this way. AOC is how many people watch that AOC stream, do you think?
Let's see. I can look at the numbers right now. How many people watched AOC play?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna see how many people live. Okay, so live watched by 400,000 viewers, which is the third highest on Twitch ever.
That's crazy. 400,000 is, excuse me, it's like good ratings for like a CNN or something.
For a CNN, I mean, it's great rating for a podcast. I believe 400,000 live blows
Yeah.
Rogan out of the water.
Does it? Because when he went
Live
live,
wise,
he had when he
around
went
260. He had 267,000, I believe, for the election.
yeah.
So that's almost double.
Well, that's just yeah. I mean, that's crazy, but that's the world that we live in now. And so Nancy actually is very vulnerable. These people are actually very vulnerable, but not enough people know how to use, Twitch. So
Well, not enough voters now, but like all these like, cause so it blew up on Twitch and it blew up on TikTok, right? So you have millions upon millions of views on TikTok as well for these. Like I saw at least 7 or 8 different videos with almost 1 million views of her playing on Twitch.
yeah,
And those people are gonna be voters soon. And I would say
yeah,
this Gen Z is more energized to go out and vote than I'd say millennials were, for sure.
yeah. And
Especially
I think that
because they have someone they can get excited about.
yeah, and she is someone. She is somebody that people can get. I mean, people are excited, and I think even if I don't get there's like a bunch of hacks that hate her, and there's hacks on both sides. Don Lemon is a hack, but the people that like hate AOC is like, you're not really listening to her, because she's a lot of times is only saying what most Americans actually feel, which is, when she's talking about higher wages, and the only exception I think is the Green New Deal, because most people are confused at what that really is. But put that aside, everything else. So why hate her for one issue? That's what I'm saying. You're a hack.
Right.
It's
Right.
like you disagree
Absolutely.
with it for one issue. What's wrong?
Well, yeah, but it's like, but that's how politics works, right? It's like you have people like one issue voters, and if they're like this, then we're not going to vote. So, abortion's that way. Abortion, even if a guy embodies everything that you hate for a lot of voters, if he's your way on abortion, you're still going to vote for him because people are one issue voters a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's so stupid. But hopefully that's we're seeing the end of that. I mean, the Democrats, they won, but they really lost in a lot of ways. And if you can't see that, wait till 2024. And
I
I
mean,
think people don't really get
the
that.
midterms 2022 is going to be interesting. It's like Pelosi, what are you going to
2022.
do? If you're going to
Yeah.
keep running this centrist message, you're going to keep losing seats in the House. And I don't think she cares, because she ran this message in 2016 and they lost, and she didn't give a fuck because she became more powerful.
Yeah, her power will increase. It'll stay, and she'll lose seats. But they'd rather, and this is an important lesson for, I think, any real progressive that's still in a part of this party. The Democrats are losing. There's a civil war going on with Democrats, and they continue to shit on the AOC progressives, but they're losing. No one's voting for them. And so
Right.
either they give into that power and understand it's a new day, or
A third party will form.
yeah, it's like a third party, and you're begging for AOC to, you're begging for these people to, because enough is enough. One day, one way or another, we're gonna see a Tea Party movement. The same way it started in the Republicans, it's gonna bubble in the Democrats, and it'll fucking reach its tipping point. And either it'll happen within the Democratic Party or it'll happen outside. But they already lost a sign. How did Trump gain more minority votes than 2016? More. How did more black people vote for him? How does that happen? How did less minorities vote Democratic? What does that even mean?
What?
Like, just think, like, what's happening? Like, again, like it means Democrats suck, bro. It's like they suck, and people are desperate for some sort of option. And even if it's a fucking bumbling idiot, they don't care. But this time, they squeaked out with Joe. They squeaked it out with Joe, and we'll see if they take this moment to lick their wounds and realign themselves with progressive values, but they won't.
Well, this is, we talked about this. So this will be the last election, I think, where you really have to. The reason why they went with Joe is because I think that the establishment realized, like, okay, this is a game of votes, and still the people that vote the most are these older white people, these white suburban people. But as this baby boomer generation dies off, then the shift in politics, I think, will come. But until they're like, but I mean, you could always see the effects of them dying off against Trump. I mean, if those extra 200,000 people don't die, Trump probably wins Georgia. He makes a play from Michigan. There's, you know what I mean? He's in the running for Wisconsin. He probably loses Pennsylvania, but
That's
he's
true,
like
but he
in the
could have,
running.
yeah. Yeah, that's man. Well, it's also it could have been 2,000 more for Biden. Like it's not, we don't know really if he lost by that much or if it actually helped him. And he should
Yeah,
have more people die from COVID.
yeah, but older people like that tend to overwhelmingly vote conservative, right? So even in this election,
But he did
if you
lose,
were to,
but he lost older white votes. Trump, he
yeah,
lost.
that's true. Hold on, I'm curious. Let me look at the breakdown of 2020 presidential votes by age, because I am curious. By age, let's see.
Well, and it's so funny. Like these motherfuckers lost. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, and it's by such a close margin. But Nancy Pelosi, instead of recognizing how close it was, she's doubling down and she's like, actually, we're fine. And fuck you.
Yeah, she's just so she's just so awful, dude. She's
Yeah.
just so awful.
Yeah. If only somebody had the courage to run against her.
Yeah, I know, right? Inside the party. Well, I can't find it right now because there's a bunch
Yeah.
of charts that I'm sure if I took the time to read, I could read, but I don't want to do that right now.
Yeah. But I think it's safe to say that like they like Arizona, Michigan, wherever else, Pennsylvania, the margin was so close that a recount isn't going to do anything, but 4 years of ineffective policy might. You know what I mean? So it's like that's why 2024 people think it's like a joke, and it might be a joke to some people. The same way Trump's initial run was a joke. Remember how that was a
Right.
joke? And
Right.
so are we gonna keep going playing this game, or are we one day gonna like?
I mean, just the reality is like I can't see how anything ever gets done as long as Pelosi and McConnell are the leaders of the two like
It's
because
not
they
gonna
both
get done. It's not gonna get
refuse. They both absolutely refuse to work with the other party.
It's
Refuse.
over. It's over. Yeah.
They're
It's not gonna happen.
those when it's all said and done, those two might be the two worst politicians we've ever had. They are up there in terms of like hurting America. Those two are up there.
Yep. Yeah. And it's a shame because in Nancy's case, all I think she had to do is just retire a little bit
Right.
earlier, and she wouldn't have gone down as one of the worst politicians if she had just got out
No.
the game a little earlier and said, listen, I did my part. I'm going to chill with my children. I'm going to meet my family for the first time, meet my grandkids.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what they're up to before I die. But if she had done that, she'd be fine. She might have been one of the good, because it's like, it's interesting when people defend her. They defend her and Hillary. They go, well, these are two of the most progressive women who, when they entered politics in the motherfucking 60s.
Yeah.
So
In the 80s. Oh, yeah.
It's like, we get it. But it's time moves on. It's like, so you think that just because they were the most progressive in the 60s doesn't mean that they're still the most, but they're still holding on to Hillary says, I'm the most progressive. Biden says it. They throw that around like, oh, we're the most progressive. Obama throws it around. But it's like, you motherfuckers are back stuck in a whole nother generation. And it's time where we do need generational thinking. And, but yeah, Nancy, I feel like she did her thing, you know? I'm not mad at what she did, but when politics becomes more about gaining power and fundraising and opposition fundraising, so now you're fundraising against the other party, and but you're raking in millions of dollars, and then you're lining up all your constituents' pockets, but you're not actually governing for anyone,
Right.
but it's all just a slush fund, and it's play to pay the Clinton Foundation. Come on, you know what I mean? It's all fucking so obviously corrupt that you're right. Until these people, they're just gonna have to die,
You have to die.
They're
That's the
gonna
only
have to
way.
die, and then hopefully we can get something, because you look at Fox News, and I mean, shout out to Fox News. We should give a beard out, really,
Yeah, beard at the Fox News.
to Fox News, because they didn't have to call Arizona for Joe, and that, in fact, they probably shouldn't have called Arizona
Yeah,
for
they were
Joe.
the first ones. They called Arizona for Joe way before CNN did. I
Yeah,
was
but
watching because I was talking between the two, like, what is happening? How?
I don't know. I don't know, but
Well,
they,
I will say this. I think insulting McCain probably was a bad thing to do. And I think
yeah,
a lot of people, like even my mom was talking about how she really likes John McCain. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, that's what happens. That's that,
Mhm.
and I don't know if we'll ever get back to that. I don't know if we'll ever get back to somebody to being. I was watching some old footage of McCain, defending Obama.
I've seen
That
that
classic.
when someone calls him a Muslim and he's like, well, don't, no. We disagree on things, but he's a great guy. It's a great clip. McClain was I mean, the one where the dramatic video where when they tried to take away Obamacare, and McCain was the only one who voted to keep it. That shit was McCain was a real dude, and like
Shout out
to
to
insult him,
McCain. Yeah,
yeah, to insult him is just like, it's gonna make a lot of people, especially in Arizona, mad. I mean,
yeah.
and you don't insult the guy for his war record. You insult him because he was a prisoner of a war that you dodged. Like,
It's
it's insane. It's
but
insane.
that's
What an
classic
insane move.
Trump. That's classic
Yeah.
Trump. You're putting yourself in a position you don't have to be in an unwinnable position that you don't have to insult John McCain. At least if you're gonna insult him, make it be on pot. Like, did the guy vote for illegal war? Sure. Yeah, but he's a complicated man, and no one understood him, but his daughter actually. And so I think in Trump, in very Trump-like fashion, that's what hurt him with Fox. That's what hurt him in Arizona. Same thing with the mask. He just has an uncanny ability to be on the wrong side of such a
Yeah,
easy.
yeah. He said, my favorite thing he said about COVID is what we're turning the corner, and now we're turning a corner into just some uncharted territory. You see it. So this is what I've been reading. What's been happening around the country, which is why I think all these shows in San Francisco soon are going to get shut down, because they're usually a little more alarmist here. But in Wisconsin, they had like different levels of like threat level, like a color like red, blue, purple. Like they had to add a new one because of how bad it's getting. I think
Damn, that's crazy.
something like in Iowa or something like that, one of those Midwest states, 49% of the people being tested are testing positive. In El Paso, their mobile morgues are now happening. They're airlifting people out because like hospitals are about to fill up, and people are like, well, less people are dying because our treatments are better, which is true. But as our treatments get better, that means the longer these people who would have died will be in the hospital, and it will tie up beds. So it's like, the problem was never the amount of deaths. The problem was the overwhelming of our healthcare system.
Yeah,
That's something that I feel like barely any sides really hammered in. It's like, because people are like, oh, we should go out. It's only 99% fatal. Yeah, true, but a huge number of people that need to be hospitalized who live,
yeah,
but their chances to live will go down if these hospitals fill up.
yeah. And I think it's safe to say that you just shouldn't go out anywhere especially if you're vulnerable or live with
Mm-hmm.
someone who's vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
You should definitely bunker down. And even if they don't lock down again, you just shouldn't go anywhere.
No,
I mean, like, yeah, it's just relax, because it's
no, yeah.
only gonna get worse. But we know the good thing is we saw this coming. Everyone knew this was
Mm-hmm.
gonna happen. So we'll see. We'll see if the government actually does anything about it. But they're
Yeah,
too
we'll see.
busy. They're too busy suing Iowa or whatever. They're too busy suing
like,
fucking Michigan for counting votes.
yeah, dude, it's just like, dude, we gotta stop, and we have to actually figure this out. This is a problem. This needs to be dealt with, and you're suing Iowa. The governor of Kentucky today was like, we have a problem on our hands. Why are you using our tax money to sue Pennsylvania? We don't give a fuck about Pennsylvania.
Because that's who this guy is. If he was any other guy, he would have won.
Yeah.
If he was any other, if he, you know what I mean? If he had another gear in him, he would be president legitimately.
Right.
But he doesn't. So that's this guy. This is also something we've known and seen coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so fucking, it's fun to watch though. His meltdown.
I mean, his meltdown is so, he just looks so sad all the time. He looks so sad all the time.
Yeah. And also the Trumpers,
mm-hmm.
It's just so funny watching them like all of a sudden acknowledge that an election can be rigged.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh, where was this energy 4 years ago? I wonder.
Yeah. Well, my favorite is I saw this guy who was like, "Oh, Democrats, you care about the electoral college now that you won," and I was like, "Well, if we go by popular votes, it's even like that's he still would have won."
That's the thing. That's what's so funny about this is there's no legitimate argument to be had for Trump.
Yeah.
Nothing will change. They're not even arguing for things to be changed. They're arguing for recounts and they're arguing for audits. That doesn't actually mean that votes will change, and they know that.
No, and they're losing votes. I mean, they're losing lawsuits left and right because there's zero evidence.
They're already losing. Yeah,
it's just like, and it's like you can't. And you've insulted the military too much that they're not gonna be your like coup buddies. They're not gonna, you know what I mean? Because you called them all idiots for being in the military, which was a bad play.
You think that was a bad play? Looking back, that's probably not the best move.
Yeah, dude, bro. If you had just fed their ego for 4 years, you have enough popular sentiment that you could legitimately be like, oh, well, come take this from me. But I don't. Yeah, you're right. He just creates these problems that he never needed.
Yeah, and it's very Trump-like thing to do. That they should have that word. It should be a new word in the dictionary for someone who causes an amount of self-destruction that just is so unnecessary. Like you definitely didn't have to do a lot of the things Trump that he did. You didn't have to do it. You could have, and you wouldn't have lost anything. In fact, you would have gained. It would have been. It remains a conundrum to me how he lost this election. From COVID on, it became clear that, oh damn, like this is it. You're not the guy. Unfortunately, you were not the guy for this.
Yeah, it's just I was so afraid this whole time that he would win again. You know, just because oh, the Democrats are gonna throw another lame duck at him, and it's just gonna be an election where the people lose again. You know. And then he said in February, he was like, well, COVID's going to magically go away. And I was like, oh, man, he might lose this. You cannot ignore this.
That's bad. That's bad. Isolated. Let's just that alone is bad. But now add in the tape of him admitting privately that he knew how bad it actually was.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and then getting it and then like acting, like, 133 Secret Service agents now have corona.
That's crazy.
That's insane. It's like you're just creating more problems for yourself. Now there's no way the Secret Service likes him that much. They're getting unnecessarily sick for no reason, and they have to take a bullet for a guy who clearly doesn't give a fuck about them.
Yeah, he's getting them sick and he doesn't care. But that's who this guy was. And it's just crazy how Corona was just it was a gift for the Democrats, really.
It really was.
Without it, Trump would have easily won.
Yeah. and then now here we are, and now
Yeah.
ooh, we're about to see what these next couple months are like. But I'm not very
Yeah.
positive. I'm not very optimistic right now.
No, well, I'm just looking to get back to the basics. I'm looking to get back to business as usual. Business as usual being bombing innocent
Yeah,
civilians. It's like I just want to get back to the America
yeah,
that bombed brown people,
yeah.
but they
Who,
did
who
it
knew?
with dignity.
Who knew that I would miss school shootings this much? But
Yeah, I just want to get
I just
back
wanna
to
go-
build back America. That's a slogan. Build back
build back
better.
America.
Yeah, but like that's the back that they're trying to take us to, and they won by a little bit. They won by such a small margin,
Mm-hmm.
but they're gonna take that small margin, give them an inch. They're gonna take the next 4 years, which brings us to 2024. Like
Yeah,
all roads lead back
we'll
to
see.
2024, bro.
What are the Republicans going to do? Who else are they going to run? They've
Marco
effectively,
Rubio.
yeah, no, they've effectively made themselves the party of Trump because all these fucking Republican politicians were bitches. They're like, there's no way anyone's going to vote for Ted
Yeah,
Cruz. You won't say anything negative about a guy who insulted your parents and called your wife ugly.
yeah,
You're not. There's no projection of strength coming from you at all.
yeah. I think it's obvious that these people have no morals, and they
No,
just yeah. So it's like, but you can't be that obvious about it. That's what I
no,
feel like. Yeah, it's like you can't. I do kind of want to go back to because at least when they were bombing brown people, like I didn't have to. I wasn't paying attention because I didn't have to. I
right.
should have been. We all should have been. And
The
I think that's why Trump won.
the
We were
uh, the
asleep at the wheel.
the best thing I've heard, the best thing I saw again on TikTok was about how Republicans like a con man and Democrats like a con artist.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, but it's perfect, man, because that's what you would describe. I describe everyone fits perfectly in it. It's like, yeah, Trump is a con man. Nothing
Obama con
artistic
artist.
about this guy. Yeah. And then
I,
but
I was watching videos of Obama just being funny the other day, and I was like, man, I miss that. I miss having like a witty guy.
I do,
That was
yeah.
fun.
I
That
do
was fun.
miss that. And that's why he was able, to fucking increase the military budget and actually expand NSA secret spying and clamp down on whistleblowers. People love whistleblowers so much, except under the Obama administration, where they tortured them. It's like, but
Yeah,
okay.
but at least he had grace while he was doing it.
He did. The man had style.
Yeah, at least he could go on Fallon and make me laugh or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It's sad, but maybe Trump will, hone it in these next. Maybe he'll use these next 4 years to really do some
nah,
soul searching.
he's just in that he's a con man mode. He's never gonna be a con artist. That's just not in
Yeah,
his. He's too blunt. He's too blunt force.
yeah, yeah. Well, this also too is like what a fucking uh like this guy was so awful, and yet he's still the country legitimately voted for him over Hillary. Like Hillary still like legitimately lost to this guy.
Yeah,
Never
right.
forget.
Yeah,
No one should ever forget that Hillary. It wasn't Russia. It wasn't. I mean, you know what you could say that Russia influenced people, but guess what? They had to vote for
right,
Trump. So what you're
right.
saying is that they just whatever you're saying doesn't it's mute because a physical person had to check the box for Trump.
Yeah.
And more
Well,
people did that than for Hillary, at least where it counted. And she
yeah.
won she won the
Electorally.
electorally because understand that she won the more. Oh, you can go fuck yourself. All right. There's California, of course. Whoever lives in California, they're all gonna vote for Hillary. but like there's other parts of the country. It's not just the coast. And these people didn't really care. And then Obama even came out recently and was like, he blamed it on racism. He blamed Trump's thing on victory and racism. Bro, Iowa voted for you twice, and then they voted for Trump twice.
Yeah, yeah. Indiana
That's
voted
not
for you once.
racism.
Like Indiana voted for you once. The
That's not
place with the
racism.
most KKK members in the United States
They
voted for
voted
you.
for they gave you a shot, bro.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and so for him to but again, that's the game that they're playing. Like they don't want to give Trump's presidency they don't want to make it legitimate. Obama and Hillary, they will forever blame racism, blame Russia, instead of saying, but you know what? He said what he needed to say and got enough votes from somebody that maybe I need to go, instead of dismissing these people as deplorable racists, maybe I need to take a look back and go, well, they voted for me, so they're winnable. Isn't that crazy how they don't think of it that way? Like
Right.
they're winnable. Like our vote, you can win instead of like you could just win again instead of being mad and saying, well, they're just racist now. Are they? Or are you just not trying? Like Biden didn't give a fuck. He straight up said, vote for me or you ain't black. And
That's probably
that got him a lot of votes. I will give
Yeah,
them
because
that. Yeah.
I will say that it's like, oh wow, thank you, Democrat, for saying what you honestly feel. Like
Mm-hmm.
you genuinely feel this way.
That's
And
true.
it was like it was very Trumpian of him. I was like, oh, he might be able to win this thing. He's saying like grabbing women by the pussy shit.
He
He's
did, and
like,
he won.
yeah, he's like
Yeah, he
fine.
won. Yeah,
Yeah,
he did it.
because that's how the Democrats are playing it. And someone finally just said it, and they're like, okay, fine. Thank
Yeah,
you for at least acknowledging what's going on. This is
they
how you
they
feel. This is why you're able to marginalize black voices, because you're like, well, you're gonna vote for me anyway.
Well, he did give the game away, and my grandma always said, don't do anything. If you're gonna do anything, don't let it be give the game away. Like you cannot, at least not for free. Don't give the game away for free. Charge these niggas. But Biden was like, hey, listen, I'm gonna give it to you for free. The 5-finger discount, here it is.
Yeah, yeah,
Vote
and
for
it
me.
worked out. It worked out for him.
Well, but again, it's just because the other guy was so bad,
Right.
and so without Trump as the boogeyman, we'll see how long he can keep this facade up, because now he's going to make real decisions. He's not going to give Bernie labor secretary. That's not going to happen.
Well, if anything I've learned about the game is you can keep the facade up for a long time. I mean, Trump still talks about Hillary, and Hillary wasn't even president. So Biden can keep playing that Trump card for a while, at least for the first 4 years.
Yeah, they will. They will. They'll have no choice, and they'll always be able to deflect whenever any progressive issue really, comes, any kind of heat at all from a progressive side. They'll always be able to shift and be, well, this guy Trump is, such a racist, and at least I'm not that guy, right?
Yeah, and they'll be able, if Trump is effectively able to do it for Hillary and Obama right now, they'll definitely be able to do it for Trump easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be an interesting next couple of years. I mean, I feel like the next time we talk, it's pretty much going to all be virus talk. I don't see how this virus doesn't just take over everything that, like, national conversation in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I think it's also a song that we've heard before, so it's a little less frightening having lived through this. It's just we know the game. Lockdown. There's going to be idiots marching in the streets, talking about give us our rights. They can all die. They can all let them. You know what I mean? Like let them all do it. But it's about self-preservation at this point.
Hey, their body, their choice.
Their body, their choice, and they can get the virus, and that's their point. Really, that's their point. The whole point is like, yo, if I want to die, let me die. Like, I don't care. And it's like, we can't argue with a man who's literally saying he doesn't care about his life. Yeah, it's like there's nothing you can. How do you like make a bargain with that guy?
No, you can't. It's
You
done.
can't.
But it's done. But
But yeah,
I'll see.
yeah,
We'll see. We'll see what the next week holds. I think we're good for this week.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah. Stay safe, everyone listening.
Yeah,
That's what we
and
can
vote
say.
for Trump
Yeah, Trump.
2024.
We'll
Count
see
all
you
the votes, and don't count them. Stop the
Yeah,
count, and also continue counting the votes.
right. That's very important that we do both of those things at the same time. All right, later, guys.